Hi everyone, this is Naila here, and as promised, this is another video on pulses chapter. I'm referring Srilakshmi ki book of food science. I have the 7th edition. So, जैसे last two videos में मैंने mention किया था about the milling. I hope आपने go through किया, and if you have any doubts you can ask me. And the first video about milling was the composition and nutritive value. अभी जो है that is the toxic constituents. So ये mention मैंने majorly इसलिए किया है because it involves a lot of medical conditions which will be a focus to you or which will help you to understand if at all you go ahead and get into the medical field of being a nutritionist or a dietitian. So आपको मालूम होगा कि what, why, which, how. Okay, so this is the major reason why I've added toxic constituents. Okay, so please do go through it properly, and you can refer these videos again and again if at all you are already in that stage of guiding people with such medical conditions. Okay, so thank you so much for the likes and subscribes to the channel, and please continue doing it. Share it with your friends, share it with your nutrition friends, dietitian friends, and it will help me to make regular videos for you all and help me to complete this book for you as fast as possible. So after completing this book, हमारे पास dietetics की भी book है, so I'll be starting with those videos. Okay, so start with page number 79. That is the toxic constituents. Okay, and we have a lot of toxic constituents, so be attentive going forward. So introduction, this part is usually covered in the practical part, but if you need help, I have made a PPT for all of you like I explained you. So practicals जब होते हैं, they do a lot of explanation and etc, and concept chemical constituents निकलते हैं ये pulse से and etc, वो usually प्रैक्टिकल पार्ट में ईदर इन द हॉस्पिटल और ईदर इन योर कॉलेज का लैब होता है, बट यूजुअली कंफ्यूजन बहुत होता है ये पार्ट में, सो दैट इज व्हाई आई मेड अ पीपीटी फॉर यू. So some pulses contain some chemical constituents having toxic properties. While knowing about a food's good part, we must also know about the bad or the fallbacks as well. Okay, in this part we will discuss about 7 toxic substances which causes conditions as well. Okay, so I have mentioned the 7 toxic substances, that is trypsin inhibitor, lathyrogens, favism, which is basically a condition, um, hemagglutinins, cyanogenic, glycoside, saponins, goitrogens, tannins, etc. ओके, सो ये जो मैंने ब्रैकेट में फ्लाइट्स मेंशन किया है दैट इज नथिंग बट अ निमोनिक जो आपको याद करने के लिए. सो इफ यू are writing about toxic constituents, you can remember flights. F is for favism, L is for lathyrogens, G is for goitrogens, H is for hemagglutinin. Okay, and there are two T's. tannins हो गया, वो आप यूज कर सकते हो, and C is for cyanogenic glycosinide. Okay, so going forward, trypsin inhibitors. Okay, so these are present in red gram, Bengal gram, cowpea, double beans, soya beans, and Lathyrus sativus and peas. By the name, you can understand that it inhibits the activity of trypsin in the gut and also with the digestion of protein. So you've understood, ये आपका ट्रिप्सिन को काम करने नहीं देता है. बेसिकली ये जो टॉक्सिक कंपाउंड होता है वो आप ट्रिप्सिन को काम करने नहीं देता है आपके गट में, एंड ऑल्सो कॉजेज डाइजेशन प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ प्रोटीन. Also, it also hinders the essential amino acids. They can be reduced by heat treatment like pressure cooking. They can be easily inactivated in dals, but we have to be a bit more vigorous in soya bean and kidney beans. Okay, causes pancreas enlargement and growth retardation. So you can just understand that this can be really 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 tiny, and it's inhibiting just trypsin in your body, but it can cause pancreas enlargement and growth retardation. So by the name, it inhibits trypsin's work in your gut. Also, it hinders absorption of essential amino acids. It can be reduced by heat treatment like pressure cooking. So अगर आप घर में दाल बना रहे हो pressure cooker में, very good, continue doing that. But if you're making soya bean or kidney beans, boil it, or do the heat treatment for a very long duration so that you can inhibit trypsin in it. Lathyrogens. Okay, lathyrism. Um, okay, so I'll explain you how it is mentioned in the PPT. It is present in Lathyrus sativus, also known as kesari dal. Kesari dal is nothing but Lathyrus sativus, and it causes a nervous disease called as lathyrism. Okay, so lathyrogens is basically a toxic compound or component present in kesari dal, which is also known as Lathyrus sativus. Okay, and it causes a nervous disease that is called lathyrism. ओके, सो केसरी दाल में लथायरोजेंस है, ओके, जो लथायरिज्म कॉज करता है. यूजुअली अफेक्ट्स यंग मैन बिटवीन 15 to 45. So being a female, you shouldn't be happy about it, but you should protect the young men in the house. This dal is usually available in if India, I'm considering India, that is Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and Mysore. The Dihas seed resembles Bengal gram dal, and hence this dal is usually used as an adulterant in other dal. So आप प्रॉब्लम समझ सकते हो कि यहाँ ये ग्राउंड लेवल की अडल्ट्रेशन की वजह से ये दाल आपके पास भी आ सकती है. सो अगर हम केसरी दाल को डिहस कर देते, इट लुक्स लाइक बंगाल ग्राम दाल, which is chana dal. So it can be used as an adulterant for chana dal. Kesri dal, if eaten in small portion, is good for health. Okay, it has 28% of protein, but it contributes 50% more energy source, and it may result in severe diseases of spinal cord. Okay, so small quantities में आप ले रहे हो, no problem, but then if you're having it regularly, it can cause issues. Like I mentioned in the start, nervous issues, which is related to your spinal cord. Stages of Lathyrism. So यहाँ पे stages mention किए हैं, so that is why I'll mention here also. Stage 1 is walking pattern changes. Short steps or jerky movements, no stick stage. Patient can remain in this stage forever or move to stage 2. Stage 2 is muscular stiffness. Muscular stiffness increases, and hence walking with tilting the pelvis, and hence stick is needed to maintain balance, also known as one stick stage. Stage 3, the muscular stiffness or rigidity is so high that the person requires two sticks to walk. And final stage, the person cannot walk at all, and the stiffness is so high in the knees and the lower limbs that the patient is forced to crawl or move using hands. There is a photograph on page number 80, that is the one stage Lathyrism. Okay, so you can just understand that the kid is too young. He can be like 14 or 15 years old, not more than that, and he's suffering through this stage. How to remove lathyrogens? It can be removed by steeping and parboiling process. So steeping, a big quantity of seeds are brought to boil, and the seeds remain soaked in hot water for 2 hours. The water is later drained off. Seeds are cleaned with fresh cold water and sun dried. This process helps to reduce 80 to 90% of toxins. Okay, so this process, ये already process होके आपके पास आ सकता है, या आप घर पे भी कर सकते हो, like how it's mentioned. Parboiling process. The seeds are soaked in cold water for 12 hours and later steamed for 20 to 30 minutes. The seeds are again soaked for an hour and dried. This process helps to reduce 80 to 90% of toxins. ये दोनों process आप घर पे भी कर सकते हो, so that is why soaking pulses are always a good idea. Hello, so starting with Favism. it is, and I've mentioned G6PD deficiency अलग से. G6PD deficiency specifically mentioned इसलिए क्या है, because I personally had got a patient of G6PD during my internship in college who was admitted in hospital because of this condition. And later I couldn't understand, so the professor had asked me to go through this. Okay, so इसलिए मैंने mention किया है. Favism is a disease caused by hemolytic anemia which occurs when you are G6PD deficient. Okay, consumption of faba or broad beans causes glutathione in erythrocytes are reduced. This causes G6PD deficiency. Germination and boiling reduces these toxins. Okay, now next. बाकी जो सारे टॉक्सिन्स है वो मैंने यहाँ पे ब्रीफली मेंशन किया है अबाउट हेमाग्लूटिनाइंस, साइनोजेनिक ग्लाइसेट, saponins, goitrogen, tannin. So just go through these. These are proteins in nature and occur widely in leguminous plant seeds. This causes the loss of appetite and results in poor growth. That is hemagglutinin. Cyanogenic glycate ka this causes cyanide poisoning by interfering into the tissue respiration. The green pod seeds and rajma contains its small traces. Saponines present in soya beans. This reduces the later or foam which is shaken in water, causes nausea and vomiting, can be eliminated by cooking. Goitrogens interferes in iodine uptake with thyroid gland and it's present in soya bean. That is why people ask to avoid soya beans if you have thyroid issue. Tannins, these are condensed polyphenolic compound present in seed coats of most of the legumes. Tannin binds iron. It interferes basically in iron absorption and reduces vitamin B complex absorption. Removal of husk or seed reduces tannins. Okay, so with this we complete the pulses का chapter. ओके, पल्स कुकरी जो है वो डेफिनेटली प्रैक्टिकल पार्ट में कवर होता है, तो आई एम नॉट मेकिंग एनी पीपीटी अबाउट इट. गोइंग फॉरवर्ड वी विल बी गोइंग फॉर नट्स एंड ऑयल सीड का पीपीटी. Okay, so if you have any questions, do mention in the comment and share it with your friends. And if you want me to explain anything separately, let me know so I can make a ppt of it. And do mention your valuable comments. Thank you so much for your time. Bye bye.